We often think that great businesses are just the product of, well, brilliant strategy and perfect market timing. But what if the most powerful force shaping a company isn't something you can find on a spreadsheet? What if it's found in the founder's personal life? Today, we're going to explore that unseen story, the personal echo that rings behind every single venture.
So, let's start with this simple but really powerful idea. Every decision we make ripples outwards. But what if the choices that matter the most, the ones with the biggest echoes, have nothing to do with business at all?
Exactly. We're talking about the choices made over the dinner table, or during a late night conversation, or even in those quiet moments when you're all alone. This right here is where the real DNA of a company is actually formed.
And we call this the personal echo, that undeniable, super powerful link between our personal lives, our love, our loss, our relationships, and the companies we end up creating. All right, so let's start with one of the most fundamental parts of anyone's personal life, their relationship status. And this isn't just about who you come home to at night. It actually fundamentally changes the entire entrepreneurial game. So I want you to take a second and really think about this for yourself. Are you navigating this journey with a partner by your side, or are you forging ahead completely on your own? See, these aren't just different lifestyles, they create two profoundly different paths for an entrepreneur. If you're a partnered founder, you've got this incredible built-in support system for those tough days. And believe me, there will be tough days. But you also have to navigate balancing two different sets of perspectives. On the flip side, a single founder, they often have this laser-like, undivided focus and way more freedom to take bigger risks. But they have to be so much more intentional about building their own support network from scratch. These personal situations, they really create two major pillars of influence on a business: the support system that's holding you up, and the leadership lessons you learn long before you ever even think about hiring your first employee. And let's expand our definition of a support system for a minute. It isn't just a spouse or a network of friends. For a single founder, that fierce independence, that freedom it gives you, that can be its own powerful form of fuel, shaping every single decision you make. And this is where it gets really fascinating. Your home life? It basically becomes the real training ground for the boardroom. Think about it. Learning to truly listen to your partner, that is the absolute root of empathetic management. Navigating all the different personalities in your family, well, that's just boot camp for leading a diverse team. The skills aren't just similar, they are one and the same. Of course, making all this work together requires some pretty deliberate effort. You'll find that successful entrepreneurs often create hard and fast rules to protect their personal lives. Things like no work talk at the dinner table, or having tech-free weekends. And look, this isn't just about relaxing. These are strategic moves to prevent burnout and maintain the very relationships that sustain them. But what happens when life doesn't just test your boundaries? What happens when it shatters them completely? This is what we call the personal turning point. I mean, this has got to be one of the toughest challenges any leader can possibly face. You're trying to steer the ship while a massive storm is raging in your own life. The pressure is just immense. And in these moments, yeah, everything can change. These personal crucibles, they have the power to fundamentally alter not just the founder, but the entire trajectory of their business. And the key insight here is that coming out of a crisis isn't just about recovery, it's about reinvention. Your priorities get completely reevaluated. A founder might pivot their entire business to align with these new hard-won values, or maybe they discover a much deeper empathy for their team's struggles. The business is basically reborn, right alongside the person leading it. So, all of this brings us to the ultimate question. After all the highs and the lows, the personal triumphs and trials, how does an entrepreneur actually define success? What really matters? Well, it turns out success is rarely just about the bottom line. It's more of a composite measure. Yeah, of course, business growth is a piece of the pie, but it's balanced by things like personal fulfillment, healthy relationships, and the well-being of the team. It's a much more holistic view, and it's shaped almost entirely by life outside the office. So here it is, your personal life. It's not just some support system running in the background. No way. It is the architect of your business. It informs your values, it builds your resilience, and ultimately it defines why you do what you do in the first place. So we'll leave you with this to reflect on. Thinking back, what's one lesson in communication, or empathy, or even boundaries from your personal life that you wish you could have applied to your professional one sooner? The answer to that? It might just be the key to your next big breakthrough.